Alright guys, welcome back to the Skymaster 1/2.5 Viper Jet. Working on the pipe stuff, I drilled, wasn't as hard as I was expecting, some pretty thick steel, but I drilled one hole, put the bell mouth on and drilled it, and then I left one and I went around and did across first and then went this way. So now it's mounted. These nuts, I actually had this from another pipe. They have like a teeth on the backside, so they're kind of a locking nut, not like a lock nut with the plastic inside there. It's kind of like I forget what they call that. But anyways, it's to help bite and not come undone. So I went in from this side, got the nuts on the back side, and then took the kind of the diameter of the bell mouth, got the thickest part, marked one side, drilled a hole, and then made sure the other one was at the thickest part, should be the max position. So these are straight across now. And I used a kind of a little washer that has the teeth on it as well to help lock it, just in case, you know, because these things get hot and that plastic and that lock nut's going to melt. So it's just to kind of keep it rigid and keep these in place. What I'll probably do is once I have the pipe hard mounted, I'll probably run something across the top and the bottom just to kind of keep it so this doesn't, because I mean I can't get two screws in this, or I could, but I would have to use like a piece of metal, like a steel. Like a lot of them will have like a little arm that'll come up that's vertical like this, so you can and it's welded, so then you can just twist it and lay it right flat on this area and drill, and then it's secure. But this one's different. So, and with the pipe in, this is what I need. This block width is about what I need to get those little ears at the end pushed against that back bulkhead. So you push it all the way back to those ears, hit the back bulkhead, and then you mount it here, and then at that point you move the motor how it needs to be. The problem I ran into, I had made two mounts, and I recess drilled them with some screws that have the angle on them, like, you know, recess screws, because the metal piece is going to sit flush on the top. So you got to be able to, you know, not have a nut in the way. Granted, I'm going to be drilling out here. It was just a precaution. But the problem I ran into is when I put it in here, this side was touching and then this side was off. And I was like, what the hell? So I put this on, and you can kind of see, like, look. So this is against that one. See how far it's off. So this thing is essentially canted. This whole mechanism, I mean, gosh, now that I step back and look at it, you can easily see that whole bulkhead is canted, which sucks. So I went and took measurements from here to here, from here to here, and they were off. And you can even look, like, it's hard to see, but you can see how this side is tucked back further than this side. So this whole frame is canted. Typical Asian crap, but it's not unexpected. I expect this stuff. So the good thing is the mounts on the turbine have a little room in between, so you can slide it this way. Well, what that allows me to do is also slide kind of cant the motor this way, so that way it's perfectly down the middle, and doesn't matter what this stuff is. So long as I take this center line of the jet and make the motor follow that center line, it doesn't matter what this stuff is angled at. The up and down matters, but you can shim that as well and make the motor, you know, kind of up and down as needed. But the biggest thing is you know, getting it on the center line and getting it lined up in the pipe. And there is some room to work and make things like they need to be. It's just, you know, when they design these things, everything should have, you know, center thrust lines and everything should line up. but they don't. So that's what kind of sucks. So you may get a model that wants to climb when you go full throttle or something because the thrust lines are off because they don't jig this crap very well. But again, that's what you have to deal with. So that's done. The pipe is done here, and you can kind of see here, this damage was done when I shipped it. They crammed the cockpit in there without anything, and the vibration made it bust out. And I've repaired it on the inside. There's some, you can kind of see them there, those black squares. Those are some carbon fiber laid up with resin over those cracks to reinforce it. Luckily, you have a fin here. These fins mount right here, just like this. So, and you have one on each side, and you don't see that. So, I guess if it's going to get damaged, that's the perfect place for it. And then I came back here and did the rear little piece. So this piece right here, sorry, this inner ring is just screwed on to this back bulkhead, and the back bulkhead's a lot bigger than the pipe. So if you're going to use the big pipe, you don't use the center ring. But with the smaller pipe, you need something to kind of hold the position of the back ring. And nice about this one is it's got these little alignment holes that you can use to align when you drill these holes and put your screws in. So the pipe is centered in the back, so you kind of look through there, and you got to get, with this being centered, it's a lot easier to take measurements and get the front centered. And then you take your motor and move the motor where it needs to be in the center of the pipe. And you just hope all that stuff lines up. But typically they don't, because like I said, that bulkhead's glued in wrong, as it is. I mean, the good thing is there's nothing that goes on here like wing wise. It's just the motor, and because of the size of the motor, you have some room to make it align. So you just have to make sure it's down the center of the model. So with the pipe in, it'll sit, these little L brackets will sit and mount, and I'll just screw them into this, put a screw in this direction. Sorry, I don't have the back screen on, but the screw will come in from the back side here through these little L brackets, and I'll put 2 of them. That way it keeps it from doing this. It'll keep it centered. So you got to do 2, because if you do 1 screw, it allows it to pivot, and that's not what you want. If you do 2 screws, it keeps it rigid, so that pipe's not really going to go anywhere. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm about to call it for the evening, and I'm going to go watch Dune 2 in the house and chill out. But I'll have to make a new mount, because I tried cutting this one at the angle that it needed, and I actually cut the angle wrong. It actually should be like this to make it line up like it needs to be. So I got to redo another mount. But I figured I'll just go ahead and hard mount here, and then make the mount as it needs to be for this side. So, and that's all because that whole framing is shifted a little bit. But there you go. So moving along, once this is in and to get the motor in, the rest is going to go quick. It's just putting the tank back in. I need to measure how much fuel this tank holds, and to see if I need to add the other one, but I don't think I will. But yeah, there's the patch on the back. It's pretty much set up now. Yeah, that stuff's good. Nice and smooth. And I'll check it for leaks and everything before I do a final install. So, but yeah. So you guys have a good evening. Take it easy. I'm gonna get back. Gotta clean up a little bit, and I'm gonna head in the house. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Didn't get to the SU. This just took longer than I was thinking it would, but I'll definitely get on the SU tomorrow and kind of get maybe get some servos put in. So you guys take it easy. Cheers.